On a day in June of 1969 when I saw for the first time and fell in love with an idea. The idea was carpet tiles, modular carpet. It was a European idea, and I thought it made so much sense that I spent the next 3.5 years of my life pursuing it for someone else. At what turned out to be the right time, everybody knows it's better to be lucky than good, I cut the corporate umbilical cord and have been pursuing that idea for our corporation ever since. The technology came from an English company, Carpets International, the largest and most diversified and most successful carpet manufacturer outside the United States in those days. CI started out with us as a 50% partner. At that time, a unique Anglo-American joint venture. Our timing, 1973, was where we got lucky. The rate of growth in the white-collar workforce was about to increase from about 100,000 net new jobs per year in 1974 to about 800,000 net new jobs per year by 1978. New office construction exploded all over America to keep pace with demand. The concept caught on, our sales grew. Here's 16 years of sales, from a dead standing start in 1973 to Fortune's 500 list in 1989. And here are earnings over that same period of time. In 1988, we bought Huger for $150 million. In any race among carpet companies to become global, we have won by a mile, maybe by a decade. Ed requested over a month ago that I make the keynote remarks for this conference and provide a vision for the task force. I accepted very reluctantly because, frankly, I did not feel in my heart of hearts that I had the right vision. Then, through pure serendipity, someone sent me a book, Paul Hawkins' The Ecology of Commerce. I shall quote extensively from it in these remarks. I now have a vision for this company and this task force, a combination of his thoughts and mine, and I'm here to share it with you. Here's the vision that Ed asked for: to be the first name in industrial ecology. Now, Ed only asked for a vision, but what about a mission? How about this for a mission? To convert interface into a restorative enterprise worldwide. Ed didn't ask for this either, but how's this for a strategy? Reclaim, reuse, recycle, conserve, adopt and advance best practices. And while I'm at it, how about this for a goal? To achieve sustainability by the year blank. You must fill in the year. Do I know you well enough to call you fellow plunderers? There is not an industrial company on earth, not an institution of any kind, not mine, not yours, not anyone's, that is sustainable. I stand convicted by me, myself alone, not by anyone else, as a plunderer of the earth, but not by our civilization's definition. By our civilization's definition, I'm a captain of industry. In the eyes of many, a kind of modern-day hero. But really, the first industrial revolution is flawed. It is not working. It is unsustainable. It is the mistake. And we must move on to another and better industrial revolution and get it right this time. We are on our way. On our way to where? Well, I have this mental image of a mountain to climb, a mountain that's taller than Everest and infinitely more difficult to scale. The name of the mountain is sustainability, and we are only on the lowest slopes of this mountain. But we know the way to the top. We have a compass called the natural step. It defines for us the system conditions for sustainability. As we move in the direction of that peak and we set the example, others will follow. They will follow not because they will feel altruistic or benevolent or philanthropic, or nor because we feel that way, but because we will be doing so well in a pure business sense by moving up that slope, that they will want some of what we've got. And of course, we'll be glad to teach them.
And the first phase of the mountain is eliminate waste. Any cost that we incur that does not add value to our customers is by definition waste. Today we would say any fossil fuel energy is by definition waste. The second phase of the mountain is the one of emissions, to be sure that whatever we emit from our factories is harmless to the environment. And that means working with our suppliers upstream, because what comes into our factories will go out, either as product or as solid waste or liquid effluent or gaseous emissions. The third phase of the mountain is energy. We want to operate our factories on renewable energy. Today, we're a fourth of the way there. The fourth phase of the mountain is material flows. We want to get our products back at the end of their first life and give them life after life. The fifth phase of the mountain is the transportation phase, moving people and products in a climate neutral, resource efficient, harmless to the environment way. We're quite well along the way on that with people. We have a way to go yet with product though. The sixth phase of the mountain is maybe the most important, because nothing of lasting value happens without it. That is the culture shift. It's one mind at a time, adopting this new paradigm, this new way of thinking about the world in the industrial system and our place within that industrial system. And then the seventh phase of the mountain, we really think that someday we'll be able to reinvent the way we go to market. Instead of selling products, stuff, we'll sell the service that the product delivers to the customer. For carpets, it's the color and the texture and the design, the ambiance, the comfort underfoot, the acoustical value, all the reasons anybody would want our carpet in the first place. Just sell them the service and retain ownership in the stuff, the means of delivering the service. The eighth phase of the mountain has just emerged more clearly for us, and that is the social equity face of the mountain. We have a long way to go to figure that face of the mountain out, and I couldn't begin to tell you how far we are up that particular face, because it's a whole different set of metrics. In the meantime, we have this thing called RAISE that is the consulting arm of the company that we created to respond when other companies ask us, how you do this. One of his first clients was a big multinational food company that sent 15 people to LaGrange, Georgia, one woman in the group. This woman did not want to be there, and she's skeptical about the whole thing. So the first half of the morning that they're together, she's obstructive and challenging everything. And then the mid-morning break comes, and to get to the ladies' room, she has to actually go through the factory. On her way to the ladies' room, her back encounters James Wisner, fork truck driver, on the factory floor with this big roll of carpet on this fork truck. And she stops him, and she says, "What do you do here?" And James, bless his heart, says, "Ma'am, I come to work every day to help save the earth." She was just stunned by that. So she started drawing him out. What do you mean, da-da-da-da-da. And finally, after a couple of minutes of it, he says, "Ma'am, I don't want to be rude, but if I don't get this roll of carpet to that machine in the next minute, our waste and emissions are going out of control. I've got to go." She came back to that meeting, a visibly different person. She sat there very quietly. And then after a while, she started challenging her people. "Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that?" And then she told the story of her encounter on the factory floor. And she said, "I've never seen anything like it," to demonstrate the alignment in a company from the very top of an organization clear to the factory floor.
Elevating the company's purpose changed our approach to design and manufacturing. If carpet tile was our base operating system, the first design platform from Interface Floor, then our second platform took design to a higher level. Following the principles of biomimicry and its champion Janine Benyus, we turned to nature for guidance and direction. If nature designed a carpet tile, what would it look like? How would it perform? Nature is not interested in creating perfection. As a result, I2 carpet tiles vary in color and pattern from tile to tile. They're easier and faster to install. Die lots are now a thing of the past, and our non-directional products can be laid down in any order, creating a beautiful floor every time. And in step with Mission Zero, I2 tiles last longer than broadloom and produce significantly less waste. I2 includes Entropy, one of the most successful products in Interface Floor's history, and recently recognized by Fast Company magazine as among the best examples of intelligent design today. Biomimicry and the success of I2 left Interface Floor with an important and challenging question. How would nature actually make carpet tile? not just design it? Answering this question is what led us to Convert, the third design platform from Interface Floor. The defining characteristic of any ecosystem is the ability to turn waste into food. It's also the driving idea behind Convert, the third design platform from Interface Floor. At the heart of Convert is our ability to reclaim and recycle all nylon face fiber. Nylon type 6 or 6/6, broadloom or tile, our product or that of our competitors. Discarded carpet is now a resource. As we scale up this breakthrough process and reclaim and recycle even more carpet, the percentage of post-consumer content in our products will increase. In the future, all Interface Floor product will eventually become Convert, dramatically reducing, one day eliminating, the use of virgin materials.
Networks is a program that takes discarded fishing nets from coastal communities and arranges the recycling of those fishing nets back into carpet fibre that we can use in our modular flooring.
What we're doing with Networks is creating a new and innovative and practical example of an inclusive business model. Groups from the communities go out into the environment, collect nets off the beaches or from the sea, and they get nets from fishers at the end of life, so preventing them from getting into the environment in the first place. As a group, the community then sell the nets into a global supply chain, and they're regenerated into nylon yarn that can then be used to make some very beautiful products, such as Interface's carpet tiles.
Developing inclusive business is not about philanthropic giving. We're doing this to demonstrate that there is a better way of doing business.
Through these network projects, some values and attitude actually change. Attitude change is quite difficult to convince because it comes from inside the person. But if one's shown doing that change, it's really a miracle happening.
The goal of Scrap and Sale to Zero is to eliminate negative impact of this site.
The pre-coat line is a production line we started with almost 2 years ago, and now we have a new state-of-the-art pre-coat dryer. That is an example of co-innovation between the knowledge of Interface and the knowledge, in this case, of a dryer builder.
What it does, you need moisture to transfer heat. It uses the moisture we have in the pre-coat to gain more heat, and we need less gas to get the heat into the machine.
The ultrasonic cutting machine, basically what we do is we cut out the tiles from the carpet band. Before we started that project, die cutting was the standard in carpet tile production.
Normally this die cutting is done in one row of 4 tiles. So you have this window waste around that block. With ultrasonic cutter we are able to cut a much larger number of tiles in one run, so this window waste around the square that you cut is much smaller.
With this new process we reduced the energy consumption, we reduced the waste about 80%, we increased the line speed, and also the quality of the carpet tile is much, much higher.
I can tell you how far we have come. It's net greenhouse gas emissions down 82% in absolute tonnage. Over the same span of time, sales have increased by 2/3 and profits have doubled. So an 82% absolute reduction translates into a 90% reduction in greenhouse gas intensity relative to sales. Fossil fuel usage is down 60% per unit of production due to efficiencies in renewables. Water usage is down 75% in our worldwide carpet tile business, down 40% in our broadloom carpet business, which we acquired in 1993 right here in California, city of industry. Renewable or recycled materials are now 25% of the total and growing rapidly. Renewable energy is 27% of our total, going for 100%. We have diverted 148 million pounds, that's 74,000 tons of used carpet from landfills, closing the loop on material flows through reverse logistics and post-consumer recycling technologies that did not exist when we started 14 years ago. Those new cyclical technologies have contributed mightily to the fact that we have produced and sold 85 million square yards of climate-neutral carpet since 2004, meaning no net contribution to global climate disruption in producing the carpet throughout the supply chain, from mine and wellhead clear to end-of-life reclamation, independent third-party certified. We reckon that we are a bit over halfway to our goal, zero impact, zero footprint. We've set 2020 as our target year for zero, for reaching the top, the summit of Mount Sustainability. We call this Mission Zero. And this is perhaps the most important fact. We have found Mission Zero to be incredibly good for business. A better business model, a better way to bigger profits. Here's the business case for sustainability from real-life experience. Costs are down, not up, reflecting some $400 million of avoided cost in pursuit of zero waste, the first phase of Mount Sustainability. This has paid all the costs for the transformation of interface. And this dispels a myth, too, this false choice between the environment and the economy. Our products are the best they've ever been, inspired by design for sustainability, an unexpected wellspring of innovation. Our people are galvanized around the shared higher purpose. You cannot beat it for attracting the best people and bringing them together. And the goodwill of the marketplace is astonishing. No amount of advertising, no clever marketing campaign at any price could have produced or created as much goodwill. Costs, products, people, marketplace. What else is there? It is a better business model. And here's our 14-year record of sales and profits. There's a dip there from 2001 to 2003, a dip when our sales over a 3-year period were down 17%, but the marketplace was down 36%. We literally gained market share, and we might not have survived that recession but for the advantages of sustainability. We really intend to bring this prototypical, sustainable, zero-footprint industrial company fully into existence by 2020. We can see our way now clear to the top of that mountain, and now the challenge is in execution. If we, a petro-intensive company, can do it, anybody can. And if anybody can, it follows that everybody can. Hawking fulfilled, business and industry, leading humankind away from the abyss.